All right, ladies and gentlemen, yes, it's another industry. We've been break for a little while in this lockdown, so usually I meet up with certain people and do the interview, but, you know, obviously through circumstances beyond our control, I have to deal with this Zoom thing, which is the thing at the moment. The different types of people I interview, and one person that comes to mind that I believe has been in the game for a little while, but he came into my angle about, I say 7-8 years ago, that I recognised this name just kept popping up, and he's achieved quite a lot. So ladies and gentlemen, for the industry street today, we'd like to welcome the one and only, well, his name's Andrew, but he becomes chairman of the board. So first I'm going to say hello, Andrew. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you, Peter. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm sorry about the lockdown. We usually meet up and touch, but it looks like elbows right now. But anyway, let's go into about you. Your name's chairman of the board now, as we all know. But before chairman of the board, there obviously was a young boy running around some part of London who got into the music business. How? I don't know. But I'm sure you're going to put that light to us right now. So I would like to say, chairman of the board, this is all about your life. Young boy, South London. How did it all start for you?
Yeah, well, as a young boy, I was brought up in a place called Brockley, that's in Lewisham. Yep, I went to a school called Mike Garden that was in Brockley. Most of my schooling was in Brockley. So that was my area, Lewisham, Brockley. That was where I really grew up. Okay. And yes, I had a few brothers and sisters who actually guided me and was the ones who made me actually be where I am. So it was nice to be growing up with bigger brothers and sisters, coming up and listening to reggae music and watching them raving, and then obviously you're inspired, so you get into it yourself eventually.
So getting inspired, I mean, young boy running around Brockley, what was your upbringing like?
Our upbringing was nice because we was a family that was well known. Brothers and sisters, obviously they went to school in the area, so we knew a lot of people in the area. Yeah, my upbringing was, I can't say that we had the most of money, but we made the most of what we had.
Okay, mum and dad, what was mum and dad like? Were they hard on you guys, or did you have really sort of a soft upbringing? Because you know the traditional West Indian or Caribbean parents, you know, boy, you have to, you're told, not like now, the kids, they do what they want.
Well, to tell you the truth, Peter, I was lucky because I was the youngest out of 6.
Oh, right, so you used to take the whip then?
No, yeah, they used to get all the beatings, and by the time
used to watch them,
yeah,
pretend to cry.
Yeah, by the time it got to me, they was a bit softer, so
wow.
They said that I was the spoilt one. You know, the last one is always the spoilt one, so they
wow.
say.
So you're agreeing now with mum and dad, they did spoil?
Well, for what I heard about my brothers and sisters and the licks they used to get, well, you know what? I'm glad that they took it for me.
Right, so obviously in this time now, schooling, what was your schooling like? I know you said obviously the school you went to, was it easy going? Did you get bullied? Or were you a child that, because your rep was so big, everyone knew your name in Brockley, no one would dare go near you?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say they wouldn't go near to me, but obviously growing up having bigger brothers gave me a little bit of an advantage because they was known and I could do my stuff, but I didn't really rely on them. I had the size on me anyway. I was not no little fairy boy. I was big and tough as a youngster, and I was going about my own way, doing my own thing.
So you lost a lot of weight there, because you look very slim to me.
Well, I was slim as a youngster because I played a lot of football, done a little sports, and then got into this music game and raving and drinking, and you know.
Oh, I see.
And you slowly put on the weight. Like when you're partying till more. One time I was playing football every week, and then I was going to football straight from a dance.
Wow.
Yeah,
So how old were you when you went to your first dance then? Because it sounds like you were very young at partying.
Well, we've been partying. Well, I'm not gonna say we. I've been partying from a very young, say from 13, 14. Yeah, we used to go to little places and rave. Our local sound was Saxon, so we used to follow Saxon. My friend's brother owned Saxon, so
Okay.
and that was just local sound. So we was able to go to little events until we got a little bit older, where we could travel a little bit further. But they used to have skate parks and that, where we used to all go from all the area and on a Sunday and meet up and listen to some Saxon and reggae music. Because obviously them times there was in the 80s, and you know, 80s black people, there wasn't a lot for us to do. It was mostly white orientated, but when we got our chance to get together, we used to all jam out as young boys and got to know people, because it wasn't just like from Brockley. There was people from Brockley, New Cross, Deptford, Peckham. So on a Sunday, everybody used to go to one place, Skateland Park, and everybody used to meet up. Them days there was no area code, so you know, people knew each other, because obviously
there was gangs though, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a few gangs, but yeah, not like today.
Yeah.
There was people like, you go certain areas, you would get robbed. If you was walking with a gold chain and you wasn't known from around there, they would rob you. They'd be on you. You know? Yeah.
You never participated in none of that though, did you?
No, I didn't need to do that. I was an individual who was actually loved playing football, and I was more into either football or partying. You know, I wasn't really into thieving and getting myself in a lot of trouble like that, you know?
And you never had any skirmishes at all?
Well, I had skirmishes, but I think most of them I made myself, because just making trouble as a young lad. It could just be calling people names and people don't like it, and then they want to come and argue. But I was.
You weren't the bully. You weren't the bully at the school. You weren't the bully boy, no?
I was, to be unfortunate to say.
Really?
That.
So everyone was scared of you in the school.
For my age, I was a decent size, so. You know what? I was like top boy as a youngster, and then when you go into secondary school, you find out there's other people like you, so you got more of a threat now when you get into the secondary school. But from I was young, I was a top boy in my primary school, so no one was in trouble with me. And
so
then,
didn't it affect your schooling at all by going to all these parties at the age of 14 and stuff like that? Didn't that really sort of mess you up, like you're coming into school the next day and teacher will be saying, Andrew, where have you been? You're late, or anything, nothing like that?
Well, I was late anyway.
You were a little rude boy at school then, obviously. Were you uncontrollable? Were you uncontrollable?
Unfortunately, I would say at some points I
love
was.
The way you say that.
I was a bit of a naughty boy. You know what I mean? I was a very disruptive boy at school.
Do you regret it today?
Yeah, some things I do regret, but you know what? It wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be here today if I could take back all my history. So you know what? Whatever I've done is what I've done, and you know what? You move forward and make it better.
Do you have kids yourself?
Yeah, I've got one. I've got a daughter that is now 23. Her name is Latia. I've brought her up most of her life.
Single parent?
Yeah, I was a single parent. From she was 6 months, me and her mum broke up, and I decided, well, I didn't decide. My mum said, take her, and I took her. And from there, I didn't look back.
Same with my boy, exactly the same. He's 24.
Yeah.
So the situation now of being a sound thing, obviously you're at school, being a little ruffian, and all of a sudden now this music did it start getting serious, or is it still a game?
Well, obviously from we was playing, when we got to the age of 14, 15, we were going to a lot of leisure centres. At that time, there was a little sound clash and little youngsters all DJing, trying to make a little impact into the dances. Everybody was like, at that time there, it was lyrics.
Right.
I'm not saying I had the best lyrics, but you know what? You just try a thing, innit?
Who influenced you when it comes to MCing?
Say that again?
Who was your influence from MCing?
Well, at that time, we used to listen to David Rodigan on a Saturday night, yeah? And a particular DJ for me was called, you know, I lost his name now, Long Ranger. Yeah?
Long Ranger, Ringo,
yeah, you know,
Yellow Man, them type.
Yeah, you remember Yellow Man? Rodigan used to have his little jingles going on. Yeah, when he used to come on, and it was at that time. Yeah, Long Ranger was one of the lyrical.
I remember Long Ranger
that I liked. You know what I mean?
And Horseman and all that.
Yeah,
Horseman, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, all these guys there. You had like Papa Levi was coming into his thing, and like you had like even a lot of artists from Jamaica. That was people were listening, because obviously we were getting cassettes there from Jamaica.
Cassettes.
You had Papa San, yeah, you remember the cassettes and that, yeah. So everything was taped them days there. So a lot of Jamaican DJs, but then you had our English DJs like the Levi's, the Tippers, the Colonels, and all that. And it was so great because they was coming from where I come from. You know, Saxon was like on my doorstep. Like I say, it was my friend's brother's sound, so we grew up around Saxon, and it was a big influence in us getting to be where we are now.
Right. So where your MCing flow? Are we talking about MCing flow, or are we talking about riding on the microphone as just talking over tracks? I mean, how was it in the sense that your lyrics wasn't as good as other people's, as you said?
Well, you know what? Some people's got it. They would just have the flow, and some of us would have.
Are we talking toasting, or are we talking?
Well, yeah, we're talking about toasting, MCing, whatever you call it. Back in the day, you just like they put on a rhythm. It could have been Shenkai Sheng, you know, the rhythm track there. Yeah. Back in the day, and then
give me a little flow. Go on.
Oh, come on, mate. You're embarrassing.
I'll test you right now. I will test you right now.
You want to test me right now?
I will test you right now.
Nah, you got to give me some money for that, mate. Come on. Nah, I'd love to be DJing right now, but I think I'm going too far with that. But you know what? That was the days. You know what I mean? You can't bring back those days. But them days there, it was just pure fun. It wasn't even no scripted thing. Man would just put two rhymes together and just chat. And sometimes you make up lyrics in the dance, you know what I mean? But I'm not saying I was the greatest, but you had some man who had great lyrics, talent. Yeah, talented. You know, I've got a good friend called Bill. Yeah, I call him Bill, but his real name's not Bill. But these men used to come in and just ribbit mic like it was nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah, they'd just pick up the mic and they would start, and people would go on, and like, yeah, you know? So if you had the melody and you had the time, me personally, my lyrics was like jokes. I'd be taking the mickey out of somebody. I've always been a person who likes to have fun and have jokes. So my thing was more of a punchline.
Yeah.
Some man there could ride a rhythm till it done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I see you. Because I used to try that rubbish back in the day myself.
well, most man from our era would have been chatting. Yeah. I mean, some man still trying it up to now.
I do it on my radio shows. I just take the mic there. I do it. But let's say now, obviously, so now you're now starting, obviously, realizing that the sound system thing can work. Because now you've sort of, tell us more about how you got into the music business. Of obviously you're following people and that, but surely you want to brand your own name. How did that come about within the sense? Was that your first name, chairman on the board, or how did it step? Did you have other names before?
Yeah, well, 1983, Started out with a name called Smiley. I used to DJ on a sound called D Eunice, like a big man sound for me, but they were going on and they were having their little dances, and we used to be followers and just go and pick up the mic and DJ for them. They even let us take over, play music, you know what I mean? They gave us the license to start, you know, enjoying the freedom.
They opened the door for you then?
Yeah, they opened the door to start a little thing, and we was like still in our school days then, so it was a little bit of a start for us. And then a few years later, I left school. And when I left school, a good friend of mine, a good friend of the family, his name was Basha. Him and you must have heard of Maxi Priest.
Yes.
They opened up a record shop in my area, and Basha asked me to come and help him. So I came to the shop and helped Basha with whatever he needed to. And at that time there, you're in a shop, so you get to people's coming into the shop and you're selling records. So as people's passing, and obviously I was a bit known in my area, so sometimes people would come in, stop, talk to me or whatever, you know. So that was me getting to be actually around the game itself. And at the same time, I had another friend who was a friend of the family again. His name was Trevor Colliard, and he had his own set. They're a big man to me, and his set was Soul Squad. Okay. Yeah, and they were playing rare grooves and all that. They were playing little parties and all that.
Like a mystery type thing, yeah?
Yeah, well, mystery was about, because a mystery actually comes from the same ends, and he wasn't mystery at the time.
Yeah.
When we started, he was Ladies' Choice, Paul Charlton, but they're still bigger man to me.
Yeah.
Him and the next friend who used to go to school of mine, they started a sound called Ladies' Choice.
Yeah.
I think I'm going back into a bit of history. It's maybe before I started, but Basha and a next big icon person in our area, his name was Loosh. These man there was the ones who started that sound.
Yeah, that name's
yeah, Loosh. These are big man them from our areas who set the thing for us from years ago.
Yeah.
So between Basha and Loosh, yeah, these are the man them who were promoters. I think Loosh at the time opened up a place called the Warehouse. You ever heard of the Warehouse?
I've heard of the Warehouse, yes.
That was on New Cross Road.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Not far from Moonshot.
Right. Yeah, you're definitely right. You know your ends, yeah?
Yeah.
While I was in the record shop, a friend of mine, his name was Winkles, and another guy called Mini Muscle. I had a next friend called Greenie. Just trying to think. These ones who came and they made this sound. It was called Imperial Dawn.
Right.
And they gave me a flyer and I had it in the shop and they was having a dance. Obviously, I was around them, but I think I was a bit of a troublemaker, so I wasn't actually around them at the time. But
they wouldn't mix with you because you bring a lot of attention, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying attention, but I was a hot-headed youth. Yeah.
Would you say you calmed down now?
Oh, 1,000%.
Really?
1,000%, Peter. I'm telling you.
If people was to know who you were before, they would not even attempt to even say anything to you.
As a youngster, you're hot-headed. I'm not having it, so I didn't even want to be friends with people because if they said something to me and I didn't like it, we're going to have it. You know what I mean? So I kind of was a man who tried to keep myself to myself. I always had friends, but even if it was my friends and you said something wrong, we're going to have it. You know what I mean?
But you see, I've known you for a little while, only a few years, and but your name's been around for a little while. And I've known you as a very humble, quiet, laid-back guy.
Well, that's me now. I'm older now, so you know
what made you, would you say wiser? Or would you say just something happened that you thought to yourself, I've got to calm down?
You know what? It's just time, you know. Time always moves forward, yeah, and you're not a youngster no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not even saying I've calmed down for a few years, but you know what? It's all about time and being in a position that, you know what, you do not want to mess up sometimes. You don't want to be going to jail and all that, you know what I mean, for something stupid. So, you know what? Like I said, a thing about in life, what you got to realize, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to be humble. You know what I mean? Sometimes you see things you might have wanted to go on mad, but sometimes you got to hold your breath and say, you know what, just allow it. I would have, if I was a youngster, I would have done him in. But
you just tell you as it is.
Yeah, but you know what? Time moves on, and you're not that person no more. You know what? When you're young, you're like physically fighting every minute, so you're used to it. And then when you grow old, you know what I mean? There's others who can punch you up, no trouble. You know,
well, it's like footballers, isn't it? Footballers, they've got the spring when they're young.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw Harry's Heroes the other day, and I was like, what? They could never do Premiership anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Because their date's gone. But at the end of the day, then you got into this sound thing, then the sound thing carried on. How did it come? Because later on, a chairman of the board comes. So what happened from after being at the warehouse? You were at the warehouse?
Yeah, we was going to warehouse dances and stuff like that, and these guys I was talking about, Basha and Trevor Collier, they gave us their sound to play.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we had my friends had built a sound called Imperial Don.
Yes, you said that.
Yeah. So they had built this sound, and this was the start of house dances as youngsters. First dance they had was a lovely dance, you know, like everybody was having fun. We were DJing the music, we were partying. It was like, this is how life's supposed to be. We're gonna have a good time doing this. Yeah. So the first dance was a success, and it's so funny. I can remember it like it was yesterday, because the dance had finished, and everybody's packed up. And to tell the truth, I wasn't even in the sound, but I was just there listening what was going on.
You're a follower?
Yeah, it was only the first dance, but by the second dance, my name was on there.
Yeah.
So I got a new name. My name was Slimline.
Slimline.
Yeah, so I started from Smiley, and then I went to the next name was Slimline, and that was, obviously I started to put on the weight, and that was why my friends used to call me Slimline, because I was actually big. Yeah. So, we started to play out, and as youngsters from the area, I'm like 16, 17. Yeah, so in that year, we had a few dances, DJing, raving, soul, rare groove, everything, you know, little party sound.
You were the topper of the obviously the blues dancers.
Yeah, but you know what? At that time there, blues dances was for the elders, like the mysteries and all that. Well, there wasn't mystery, ladies' choice, and the touch of classes and that. Those was the sounds that was the blues dances. We, as youngsters, was party sounds. But the guys who I was around was the ones that was the older men, them who were having blues dances.
Right.
Yeah. Even though we were having blues dances, we're young sounds, so we're doing our thing for our little generation.
Yeah.
So that was the start of things to come. But at the same time, we were going into the big man dances. Yeah.
Right.
And our friends was like saying, yo, you don't play the sound. So I can remember them giving us the sound to play such a touch of class one time. Big touch of class, like us as youngsters are playing the sound against touch of class. And we gave them a good run for their money until our set broke down.
Wow.
Yeah, and
that must have been embarrassing.
No, it wasn't embarrassing, because you know what, we're youngsters. Not embarrassing for us at all. It was a learning curve.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we are youths. Touch of class and the ladies' choices, they are established. We are a young sound that play more or less for our kind of crowd that was growing up at the time.
I see.
Yeah? So remember, we're only 16, 17.
Yeah.
These men, they may be 20, 21. So we're teenagers and they're
They're the elders.
yeah, they're the elders, yeah. But we would go to their dances and listen to what was going on and take it in, you know what I mean, as youngsters. And that's what really gave us the knowledge of what was going on. So as youngsters, we was groomed because we were listening to what they're doing and still doing our own thing. So within no time, it's like we're younger, but we're listening to big man music too.
Yeah.
So, and going to those dances and taking in what's happening. So within the space of time now, we're starting to hear all them tunes that them guys are playing, and we're starting to want to find all these tunes now. You know what I mean?
Yourself.
Right. Even at that time, there was a tune, a big tune. See, my head's kind of gone now. I'm going to tell you what the tune is. Love's Gonna Last, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, yeah.
Well, that tune when we was youngsters, it's like nobody could find it one time. Yeah, we was going all over the place trying to find it. Love's Gonna Last was like, wow. And you know what? After years, they must have reprinted it and it came back out on the shelves. You maybe could find it anywhere now. Yeah. But when we were youngsters, that was a tune that everybody wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not too far from where I used to live, there was a guy called Victor. I think they used to call him the Doctor. Yeah, he was in Street Life. I don't know if you knew.
I heard of Street Life, yeah.
Yeah, his name was Victor. And he was like one of them man who was a collector who could find tunes like that.
Yeah.
So I can remember we used to go to his house. Obviously, when you're a collector, you could buy a tune. You could buy a tune for £2 and sell it for £20 because that's what people wanted. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if he could find it and supply it, then you pay. That's what the days when people was trying to pay as much as they can to get an LP because it was rare. You understand?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of competition for man. Some certain man would play a tune in a dance and like raw. And then people just want to find it and they can't find it. It's a one away. So people used to reboot it.
So being in your early sound days and moving up the ladder as such, have you had any really bad experiences apart from when the sound broke down in there that you felt, no, that was really bad?
Well, you know what? We had our ups and downs, you know what I mean? We had times when I can remember going to country, we were going to a place called Northampton. And we went to Northampton and played out, but we didn't go all together. Like the sound went, this set of people went, and all of us went different ways. I think we ended up taking train.
Right.
And we've taken train, had a good time at the dance, and then it's time to go home. And how do we get home? All the way in country.
So we're basically stranded them.
Yeah, we're looking to steal a car. We're looking to do all kind of crap up there. Yeah, and in the end, the girl who brought us up there, she had to take us all home because we were just looking to do some madness up there, and I don't know how we were gonna get home.
Well, she obviously prevented it by just taking you home.
Yeah, she drove us all the way back to London. You know, and we got back home in one piece, and in the end, we became good friends. We always kept in touch, even up to date. We still keep in touch now. So
that's good.
It's a
very. Your sound life moved on now, so you're in this sound, and then it's sort of steadily going. But then obviously something must have give because you're not in that sound no more. In a sense that you've now moved on to be an individual.
Well.
Right?
Having a few years in this young sound that we had, it ended up getting stolen in a party. We had played at a party on a Saturday night, and the van man didn't turn up.
Oh wow!
And then we all went home, went back for the sound on Monday. All the stuff had got stolen, preamp, everything's gone.
Wow!
So, you know what? It was a bit devastating. The boys then went and done some wrong stuff for that. I wasn't even there.
Oh,
But
wow.
the boys then went up and done some bad things and got themselves in a bit of trouble and ended up actually getting about 9 months on remand.
Oh, wow.
Lucky for me, I wasn't there, so I actually got away with it.
You
So
got away from it.
yeah, that's what really the sound from that was it.
Right. All right. And
And
is
then
that what made you? Sorry, go on, Karen.
that didn't make me. Obviously, that was in the 80s, yeah. And then we moved on to the 90s. We were still trying to play music out there, but then my friends, they moved on to sound Fifth Avenue.
Right. Right.
And took over that sound, and obviously we was still friends. So, and they took Fifth Avenue onto a different place. You know what I mean? They took the name from somebody else and carried it on with fine style and moved forward with the name.
Yeah.
And obviously we was around, but we wasn't the main people. Obviously we was associated, you know. So
you didn't like the sound of being like that?
No, it wasn't a place. That didn't mean nothing to me because these were my friends. So, you know, we grew up.
But the reason why I'm saying that, because there's a thing with all us DJs and some of us DJs, that there's a thing called, of course, ego. Everyone likes to have an ego, especially when you have a certain Joe Public who will come and they'll listen to you and enjoy your vibe, and certain public will pinpoint certain people who they prefer or they idol or who's their celebrity, and then when other people feel left out, that's when, you know, people start being jealous. Don't you feel so? Never come across that sort of thing?
Well, for me, you know what, it doesn't really bother me. Yeah, I actually, when the actual news down started, I actually was around, used to do a little bit of DJing, but wasn't really so much worried about. I was into doing my own thing at the time.
Right.
It wasn't about the music thing at the time. I still tried to follow my friends and help them. Any help they needed, I was still around for them. But for me, the ego thing, it didn't really worry me because I didn't really want to be on that stage anyway. You know, at that time, you had sounds like Latest Edition. It was coming up. You had Hyper, you had Studio Express coming up. You know what I mean? And a few others. Some are still here today, and some didn't make it.
Right.
You know, but you know what? I was glad just to be around. My friends was doing well, and they were going places, and you just around. You know, if they needed help or whatever, you was always there because it's your friends.
Right.
But obviously, for a few years, you're around that until, you know, time actually moves on. So that's why.
When you moved on.
Yeah, in the end, your time comes to move on, and you move on.
Right.
You know?
So then, obviously, moving on, was that when the launch of Mr. Chairman of the Board came about?
Yeah, as a DJ, my name was Chairman of the Board before that, but more
how did you get the name? Who invented the name?
Well, I'm going to say it was my original friends and people who we went to a place called Malta on an RJS trip in 2002. And there was about 30 of us having a great time, drinking, having fun. You know, nobody could come around us unless you was about it. You know what I mean? If you weren't about it, you would have got run. You know what I mean? Yeah, these bands, they were hardcore, you know, like they would make up a name for you. And I was one of the culprits who was up for all that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we came back from Malta, everybody had a great time, and it's like everything picked up from there. I got the name Chairman of the Board because I was around the sound, and they were saying, you're bigger than a manager, you should be chairman. And that name just came to light, and I said, what? That's a good name. So you know what? I have to play the role. If you're got to be a chairman, you got to play the role. You got to do this thing right, or you're just gonna be sound like a flop. Then you know what I mean? Why is his name chairman? You know what I mean? They're gonna have you as an idiot. So you got to live up to your name, haven't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And so it then became off the board. You put on the board to it then, yeah?
No. My name was chairman of the board from the start. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was named chairman of the board. At that time, I started doing promoting for the sound. So, like, I would go out, put out the flyers, you know.
You were the promoter.
Yeah, I was more doing the promoting for them, you know.
Right.
So it wasn't about me playing the music, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was about me doing promoting my friends and making sure they was all right, you know what I mean? Or if we had a dance, we put together, and I was part of their promotional team. You know what I mean?
So chairman of the board is now obviously a brand name. I mean, I as I say, 7-8 years ago was since I heard your name came up, and you seem to be the only one DJ that I can personally say that can hold 3 parties in different parts of London and still get away with it and pack them out. How do you do that?
Well, you know what? Peter, it didn't come overnight, yeah? The first dance that I started off was the triple treat dance. My friend Stevie Night Rider gave me the push and said, "Chum, I want you to play at my birthday." And I played at his birthday, and it was successful. And then Desi G and Juxie at the time, the bad boys, they was like, "Yeah, man, I want you to play at this house party." And I'm like, "What? All right." You know what I mean? Somebody's recognized it. So I went and played at their house party, and it was like a big success. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, chairman, you're going to be going places. People were talking about it from that. And you know what? I really didn't look back from that, really, to tell you the truth. It just like got bigger and bigger. There was 2 girls that was getting some big houses in Streatham and all kind of areas. Their names was Girls at Their Best. And they started to have some blues dances and people coming from all different corners, and they put me on their thing, and my name started to start being on house parties. And like, yeah, I'm starting to like, but I still see myself as the warm-up DJ.
Oh, come on, chairman.
No, hold on. I'm saying...
Whatever, man.
Hold on. You got to start somewhere, haven't you, Peter?
How are you a warm-up DJ?
I didn't say that I'm now a warm-up DJ. I said at the time, when you start...
Yes.
Yeah, these men have been in the industry for how many years? Name brand. I'm now trying to make a name for myself. Oh. I'm not going to come to the dance late because I'm not the name brand man, am I? I'm the man now who has to work to get his ratings.
I thought you said now.
No, not now. I'm saying when you
deleted the interview.
No, I'm saying, Peter, when you start out, you know what I mean? Yeah. This is a thing that obviously everybody's got.
When you start out, you have to be go-far. Let's be real.
Yeah, that's right.
You play free, you don't get paid. Like, even when you do the clubs and that, you might get drink off the bar or something subsidizer, but you don't get paid until later on to you prove yourself. I understand where you're coming from. Well,
yeah, I was getting paid still, but you know what? Like I say, it was never about the money. So right. Even though I was getting paid, it was about just enjoying myself. It wasn't, you know what? I'd left the sound. It's like, what do you do? What do you do? Stay in your yard? Let me carry on doing what I'm doing, and you know what? Make something of what I'm doing.
So the first time you got to actually DJ by yourself, Chairman, without no help, because obviously you had your friends behind you that could obviously help you through situations that you couldn't control. When you're there DJing by yourself and you're realizing this is nobody else, this is me, your very first time, was it very daunting? It must have been a bit scary in the beginning.
You know what? You've got to have a little bit of confidence in yourself, you know what I mean? And if you don't have no confidence, then you can't go into the arena. You understand? Or you just flop.
So you know what? This business.
Yeah, you know, I was very confident. You know what? I was positive, had a positive mind, saying, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna do what I do. And you know what? When you hear people like Desi G, like, yeah, man, he's all right, man. You have to think, oh, these men are in the game for how many years? If they're gonna be showing you little, you know what? You must be saying a little something. So, and as time went by, everybody started to just take to me, and I was like, wow, I can't believe like how this thing is going for me. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you're on all the major brand events. You're also, you know, you fly abroad quite a lot, and you get a lot of respect from the promoters who do things abroad. That must have been very nice when you used to get those phone calls telling you that we're going to Malta or whatever, and we'd like you to come along. That must have been a bless, right?
Oh, it was one of the greatest things. Obviously, before that, I'm not saying before that I would used to pay my money. I went to a few places with RJS. Wasn't nothing to do with playing music, but we were just like, you know, like you don't even realize that you're an entertainer. You don't have to be an entertainer by playing music all the time. You can be entertaining by just be accommodating to people, buying them drinks, and you know what I mean, making them happy. You know what I mean, nicing up people. This is how we really first started, by just nicing up people, going out, buying 2 drinks. You want a drink? You know what I mean, making people happy and comfortable. Understand? And that's what that started with, and moving upwards and being able to fly out and play music. You know what? It's like a dream come true. Like I say, if I had to pay to go into a party because I were on it, then no big deal. Because obviously we like to rave, we want to listen to music, and we like to party. You know.
And now you're in the music game. Is it what you expected it to be?
Oh, exactly what I expected. Because obviously, you can't say now. It's like I knew about it all the time, because I was around it. If my friends them had a bad day or something happened, they would pick up the phone and phone me and say, yeah, guess what, man, this happened or whatever. So I was always in tune to what was going on. I always knew about individuals and how they carried on and whatever. But you know what? I came into this thing with my own mind, you know what I mean? And I just started from start. Some people, we might not even have liked each other before.
Right.
But we didn't know each other. And now a lot of us know each other, like, well, he's all right, you know, he's cool. There's a lot of people I talk to now that we wasn't
talking to.
We wouldn't have dreamed, but you know what? I think it's age, as time passes on, you know, but you kind of get more reserved. And if you want to get out there, you've got to be able to talk to people, or then you won't be getting anywhere.
Well, I get that problem because people say to me, Peter's face is always pushed up and I don't gel with people, and I don't. But I go, well, I'm not a Cheshire cat. I don't go around just smiling in everyone's faces. I see you, hiya, hiya. I just
Peter,
don't do it.
This is what it is, yeah? People don't know you then. That's what
right.
it is.
That's right.
They could not look on your face. They don't know you. You know what I mean? They look at you, he's a miserable person.
Yeah.
But this time you could be the life of the party.
Yeah.
But they don't know you. You can look on somebody's face and say, oh, that person always looks, and you go around that person for a day or two and they think, wow, you're not the person I thought you was.
Cover.
That's the whole point of it. You never judge a book by its cover. You understand?
So we're going to go into now the situation of the goods, the bads, and the uglies. There are 3 words there that I've just said to you.
Do you really
I'm asking you.
Do you really want to go there?
We're going there. The goods.
Well, the goods is obviously playing abroad. Can't get no better than that, is it? When people pay your fare to go abroad and your accommodation, you know what? And even
you get a little change for playing as well.
Well, you know what? I'm happy with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I'm very grateful for that. I'm very humble and grateful for what the people who's actually booked me to go abroad.
Right.
Obviously, they've seen something, and you know what? I hope to actually honor that and do my best when I go abroad and play for them, because I think it's something big. A lot of people would love to do what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, and they maybe got the talent, they maybe got more talent, but you know what? It's like a footballer who, when to be a footballer, there's maybe thousands, but only a few will get into it, being the elite thing itself.
It comes to show you. I mean, look at. Sorry to cut you. Look at Harry's Heroes.
Okay.
I saw that the other day, and there's no way they could go back in Premier.
Yeah, but you know what? They had the chance, and they've done it. They've done it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you've been there and done it, and it's even for me to actually be mixing with a lot of these people, DJs, who's been there and done it, and I've even been talked of. You know what? Respect. You understand?
Yeah.
That's all it is, a big respect. You know what? I'm very, very grateful for where I am and where I've been. And you know what? I'm just humble to say, yeah, thank you for the support that I've got, to tell you the truth.
Well, Chairman, that's the goods. Now
Yeah.
we're to the bad.
All right, the bads now is going to a dance with 10 DJs on it. I'm not even saying I'm the name brand DJ, but you know what? Some of them DJs maybe ain't even got a bigger name as me.
Right.
I mean, I'm not even the biggest name DJ, so everybody's fighting to be on this thing here. You got an hour to play, man's breathing over your neck, and you never feel comfortable that way. So that's what I will call the.
Doesn't that sound like a little bit of a sabotage situation there?
Well, you know what? Promoters are promoters. They put on what they want to put on. You can't stop someone from saying, you know what, I'm going to put on a dance and I want to have 10 DJs. But sometimes it's better than tell you.
If there's 10 DJs on that bill, surely you can say, nah, I'm not playing with 10 DJs. Because I know I'm not going to get what I really want to, or I'm not going to be able to express how I want to express. Why couldn't you just say, no, I'm not doing it?
Because, you know what, well, nowadays you might say that, but you know what, before, people might just call you, I want you for that dance. Yeah, that's no problem. They might just book you.
Yep.
And then next minute you look at their flyer and you see 10 DJs. Some people might say, yeah, I'm having a dance and I've got this one. How do you think about playing with him? Or what about him? Some DJs will say that to you. And some DJs will just ask you, are you available for that date? Okay, then. All right, I'm putting you down. And then next minute you see the lineup. It's got 100 people on there.
100 people.
What can you do? What can you do about that?
So, Chair, has there been a situation that one day you're just looking at a flyer, you're getting one of the packs, you open it, and you look at it and you see chairman of the board and you ain't even been told that you're on the bill?
Listen,
that happened to you?
Nearly every week.
And how does that make you feel when you see that?
Do you know what? Sometimes I'm like, what the hell's going on? I don't know nothing about this. And people's ringing me, yo, Chip, you're on this dance here. And I'm like, what dance? I don't know nothing about that. You know what I mean? I feel like, wow, is that how they got me now? Like, it's like, if you're not on the
promoter and ask him, well, what's that about?
Well, it depends. Sometimes you don't even know who they are. You know what I mean? I've been on some big dances and like, rah, I didn't get booking for that. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
You know, but, you know, and some of them, I'm like, I'm going to that dance. You know what I mean? And I just turn up. You know what I mean?
And you don't bring no music?
No, I always walk with my music.
And do they bring you in? Do they still let you play?
You know what? That's it. Really, truly, sometimes it's up to me. If I want to play, I will push for it. And if I don't want to, I would look and just observe. And
true, because if your name's on there, you'll rightfully have to play.
Yeah, I should do. But you know how much people every week are ringing me up and saying, yeah, Chair, you're at this dance, you know? I'm like, Am I? I know I'm not there. I'm somewhere else. No, but I've got a flyer. I go, no, well, I don't know nothing about it, and they might text it to me, and I'm like, raw. I don't know nothing about that, and I'm not going to that dance because I'm somewhere else. You know what I mean?
We'll let you off lightly because we've had the good, we've had the bad, but slightly there goes in with the bad, there becomes the ugly. What's the ugly?
Oh, you know what? I don't really see the ugly because the ugly is. I would add a couple of fights. that would be ugly. So right. It doesn't get that far.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. You know, you don't want it to be on that level where fists are flying and where. So, you know what? Yeah. I'll leave it to the bad, and sometimes you got to walk away from the bad before it gets ugly.
Well done, salute.
Yeah?
Yeah. So now you're in this situation now. I am now going to play devil's app. I want to be a DJ. Forget Peter Terry. I want to be a DJ. I come to you now, and I need a bring-in. And I'm a really good DJ.
Well, it's a $5 for the bring-in first.
I'm just a little bit of astonished of there's certain DJs out there who don't get a bring-in. And a lot of people know, for instance, very close to me is one gentleman is called, say, for instance, Mr. Bex. He's a very good DJ. He's trying to climb hard again. He wants to get onto the older circuit. He can do everything that everybody's doing. Why do you think people don't give these people youngers as well a chance to come in? Is it because you're too young?
No. It's not because if you're good at the game and you prove yourself, why are you too young?
So what does he have to do? Say, for instance, I'm coming to you as a teacher. What do I need to do to get up there?
Well, to get up there, you maybe need to be seen and known, and have somebody who's actually got a little bit of influence in the game that can give you a bring-in. You know what I mean? It's not about. There's a lot of DJs who will beg the bring-in. You know, they don't business. They just want to be in it. But you have to remember there's a lot of sounds out there. So you have to think, if somebody puts on a dance tomorrow, who you going to put on a dance? Now, is Bex out there on the radio? It's like, I know him, obviously. You know, to tell you the truth, his niece is here now, and his sister's here now, where I am right now.
Right, yeah? Nice. It's a family affair.
Well, they're good friends of my people, so
okay, that's cool. Cool.
So, but what it is that it's who you know, who's going to give you that bring-in.
So the game is about who you know.
Of course, it is.
So with the situation where you are right now. Mm-hmm. To somebody who wants to come up in the game, is it easy? Or did it take, because I suppose because you came from obviously back in the day where you had older ones that gave you more of a bringing-ish at those days, but now the state of a brand new DJ coming into the game from your direction, is it easy?
No, because you know what, it's a different time now. And it depends what that DJ is playing, what he's bringing to the table. Has he got people around him? You understand? You know, you can just bring in somebody, but if you're bringing in, have they got anybody they're bringing? Have they got 5 people they even bringing to the table? You understand?
You say bring 5 people, 10 people, or whatever. Half the DJs that come on there, which we're going to get into, and do you think it's right, as I'm putting you on my bill, you're asking me for £300, just say, and all of a sudden now £300 I pay you up front in advance, and all of a sudden on the night you don't bring no one? Do you feel that's right, or do you think that the promoter he's got to do all the work himself?
Well, I believe if you're gonna have a dance, it's better you know what you're doing, innit? Yeah? You can't expect the sound man to be promoting your thing. You understand? The sound man is there to play the music, yeah? If you are a good promoter and the dance is ringing bells and you do your stuff, then you should get the people.
Okay, can I ask you a question then? Just because I've got to play devil's advocate in some parts of this discussion. I'm Chris Brown. I don't need to put one flyer out there. I don't need to put one Twitter out there. I don't need to put one Instagram out there. But Wembley Arena will jam out because I'm Chris Brown. Yeah, are you saying DJs can't do that?
Well, no, DJs...
And a promoter can't expect that of a DJ.
No, I don't expect a promoter to expect that, because you know what, you still need to get it advertised. You know what I mean? It's got to ring a bell. People's got to want to go to it. You know, you can't just say, "Oh, I've got this sound playing." I've had sound man who's had the biggest and the baddest sounds them on the flyer, but if you don't promote it right, your dance could be naked. Nobody's in it.
But Chair, what I'm trying to say, I understand what you're saying. We just said Chris Brown and it packs out. Now, promoters, some of them promote everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And then 5 people turn up. But the promoters, could it be because it's the actual promoter who's putting it on? Or are you saying that people are bored of them DJs?
No, of course they're not, because I swear if they had another dance a week after and it was a different promoter, dance could be ram, jam and packed.
So it could be because of the promoter?
It could be because of the promoter. It could be the time. It could be what's going on. There could be a lot of things to it, you know?
Right.
And it could be something that you catch the right week where nothing ain't going on and you make a pocket.
Right.
It's down to the people out there who are influenced to look at the flyers to think, oh, is this worth it be going or not? You understand? Yeah. Some people will look at it and think, well, who's that? Who is she? You understand?
Yeah.
You know?
So what you're saying, they're used to the norm.
They are.
And they don't go out of their comfort zone because they're used to their norm.
Yeah, they are. You might as well do say that, because if you look at this industry and you look at the individuals who have dances every year and they are guaranteed to be packed. Yeah, without no doubt.
So when you say, if there was, okay, you go to a rave one week, go to the rave the next week, you basically see the same people, the same type of vibe. Are you saying that people don't want to try nothing different? Or would you say if someone did try something different, is there a chance that people could come off of that and think, nah mate, I'm trying this one. Have you been to blah blah blah? It's different. Different type of clientele, different type of vibe. It's much better.
No, there's a lot of people now. If you look at the whole industry yet again, and you look at what certain individuals out there are doing, they are trying to spice up the thing and try and make it slightly different. It might be the same. How?
Yeah,
how? Well, you look
at the devil's act here, Chair, because people are asking the same question.
All right, I'm gonna look at something like Stamp. Yeah.
Okay, because it's gone to okay. So we're talking different parts of abroad.
No, but I'm just saying it don't even matter if it's abroad. But obviously they're taking it somewhere else. It's the same thing, and they're bringing it somewhere else, and it's getting a different attraction. Like, you know, people. Not saying it's getting as much people. But you know what? It's just taking it on a different level again, isn't it? And now we're getting older. Everybody is now taking their things onto a different level. Right. It might be the same thing they've had, the same stale thing, but when you spice it up and bring it and call it a different name now, you know what I mean? It changes into something else, but it's the same thing we've been going for years. Maybe added a few other people in it now and changed, but it's the same thing we've been doing and going to for how many years?
Which I need to ask you this: what would you like to change if you could within our industry?
Well, you know what? I wouldn't like to change anything. You know what? It is what it is. Yeah. So the industry is just how it's been for so many years. So if people like what they like, they're gonna go where they want to go. Yeah.
You have to be strong-willed to be involved.
Oh, definitely, 100%. You have to be strong.
It's not an easy ride then.
No, people might look at it and think, yeah, it's easy, but no, you know what? You do it and then you'll find out what it's all about. You know what I mean? Going out every week. Sometimes I had to be going out from like midnight and I'm not coming home till evening sometimes.
But you're getting money, you're getting paid, bruv.
Listen,
if they done it for
hold on. Let me tell you this, yeah. You go into a blues dance, yeah.
If they done it for
hold on. Let me tell you this, yeah. You go into a blues dance, yeah.
Yeah.
And see, you'll get money, but you go into a club, you're getting the same money.
Yeah.
And you're doing 45 minutes.
Yeah. I see.
And you don't have to wait so many hours. When you go into a blues dance, you got this one, that one, and they're playing much longer. So you're there, and you got to listen to everybody playing, so you don't repeat music and all that. You understand?
Yeah.
Some people think they could come into a dance late and they're gonna play. There's been many a times a man's played a set, and a next man's come into a dance, play the same set as
Have
the
you
man.
Have you gone to a dance and noticed someone's playing your set?
Oh, people will tell me that all the time. Oh, that person's trying to play like Chairman, man. If I close my eyes, I would have thought it was you playing.
but doesn't that give you a little bit of a buzz? It must make you feel good.
Of course it would do. You understand? Why not? You know what? If people are influenced by you, then you know you're doing a good job.
Chair, this is the words I always say. If no one's not talking about you, you're not a threat.
That's right. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I say, sometimes I've been into a dance and like they've seen me come into a dance. It's only because of the name. These man them want to get out their music and try and play like we're in a clash. And I think, why is he playing like that? Because I'm there.
Yeah.
I think, brother, you know what? Oh, you're there to entertain. You're not there to entertain me and make me think, you got tune. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The public. We're playing for the public, not for the DJs. The next DJ, they might look at you, he's shit. You know what I mean? Because obviously that's the ego people.
He's sugar, ladies and gentlemen. He's sugar. He said he's sugar,
yeah? Yeah, right. Yeah, they'll say, he's no good. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what? They like cast you aside, don't it? But everybody's got their own taste. You know what I mean? If you can put your music together in the right way and people just like your style and how you play your music, people respect that. And that's what they've respected for what I've done. I haven't done anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
I've just come in.
Chairman, I've noticed another thing as well. You're not on radio. You don't do radio. Why is that?
Because I can't look at the four walls. I'm just about doing this Zoom thing here. You get me? I'm just about doing this Zoom thing here, the radio. I've been used to play that every week, so that's where I get to play. You understand?
Right.
And you know what? I don't have no playlist where I'm gonna play this. When I go into a dance, I just go in raw. I might listen to what everybody's got in, but you know what? You
don't have a playlist on radio. Where you been, Chair?
I ain't got clues. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
You don't have playlists, or you play what you want.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if people's got playlists for radio or whatever. They might have some people's got playlists for dance. They got playlists for everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's down to the individual. I just go off my head. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just don't know. I can't say I'm going to play this tonight. I want to play this tonight because by the time I play, the next DJ's played it all. And what am I going to play now? I'm lost. He's played all the tunes I was going to play.
Yeah.
So
what would Chairman of the Board love to do before he hangs his gloves up and say, you know what, I've done this. I've done it. I'm good.
Well, what I would love to do is have my own boat dance. I'm not talking about small boat. I'm not talking about jam rock style. Yeah?
Yeah.
So we have that not even in Jamaica, you have it in Europe. Someone might tease my style now.
Are you talking about something like Dixie Queen?
Yeah, something like that in Europe, and have our own thing, and just be able to have something every year and create our own thing. Have DJs from everywhere coming over, have artists and stuff coming over. You know what I mean? You want to have something that, you know, every year you can get a good crowd, and that's your little money spinner. You understand? So I would like to establish something that, as long as it's got years to go, that I can have something every year and it can get bigger and bigger and better, and I could just relax and hopefully make some money out of it.
Well, you've been in the music game for quite a long time. Before we wrap it up, I want to ask you of anything that you've done, have you regretted anything at all?
Well, you know what? There could be a lot of things that I regret, but I'm not gonna talk it. I'd rather move forward in life. You know what I mean? You put things that you regret behind you and you move forward. You know what I mean? I just really pay thanks to achieving what I've achieved and got to where I've got to. And I'm humbled to say thank you to all the people who have supported me over these last 11 years and been about for me in my corner and rooting for me, shouting, chairman, chairman, chairman. You know, it's been unbelievable. You know, the people from North London, West London, East London, people that I've met, they've been so nice. And some of these people I don't know from Adams, but you know what? They loved what I've done. And I have to show respect to them too, because you know what? For them showing me that, yeah, you're doing a good job and doing good, I'm very, very, very grateful and humbled to just hold that respect, to do what you're doing and keep doing what I'm doing. Can I just big up some of the promoters and people who's...
Of course you can.
Yeah, I've got to say big shouts out to Nella and Howard, the Ultimate Crew, yeah? Got to big them up because they're the ones who, the Ultimate Experience, they're the first ones to bring me on holiday to St. Lucia. We've become a family. You know, we're not just friends, we become family. And they brought me to St. Lucia, 3 times? So, big special thank you to Nella and Howard and all the Ultimate Experience crew. Got to say big ups to Mikey and the RMP crew. They're the ones who go to Southport every year. And Portugal, big up to them. Girls at their best. Got to big them up. They was one of the girls. They were the girls them who started us off back in the day. Got to big up to the whole of my South London crew. Yeah, there's so many people that I've got to big up, but you know what? I don't even think there's enough time to really big them up. RJS, big up Sweeney, original Martin Keown. I know he won't like that, but yeah, big up. Stevie iPod, BCP crew. Got to big up Gunshot, all my DJs who I played with, Desi. There's so much DJs out there, you know what I mean? But you know what? Honor and respect to all of you. Yeah, my manager, big up Alison. Thank you so much for putting on my birthday when I was away in Gambia. She done a good promotion for me.
When's your next birthday? What are you going to be doing?
Well, we don't know.
Hopefully.
With this outbreak right now, we're just keeping our fingers crossed, but look out. We've been putting something out, but you know what? We've got a long way to go to that, and let's just see how things work out. When we get there, we'll get there, but hopefully we can get to do something big again this year and put my name bigger on the map again.
It's big already, Chairman. Chairman of the board, thank you for your time. And it's been a privilege, more than a pleasure. But with this, I'd like to say, Chairman of the board, this has been all about your life. And on behalf of SD Media and, of course, the Industry Street, we'd like to present you with your award for your contribution towards the music business. Thank you, Chairman of the board.
Thank you, Peter.